Hello friends, welcome to the sixth video lecture in this sequence. In this session, we'll be looking at the DNS protocol. We'll be analyzing the DNS protocol. So just pictorially representing of what happens in DNS. DNS stands for Domain Name System. The primary function of this is the users, as users, generally what we do is we do not remember the addresses or the IP addresses of the web servers. For example, if we want to visit mgit.ac.in, so as users we remember this text format easily. So we type in this URL, whereas we know the TCP IP stack, basically it needs to be told about the IP that we want to access. So that means there should be somebody who can convert this text URL into IP. DNS does that exactly. It is also called as the directory service of the internet. So where you are giving the name and it converts it into IP address. So see what is happening. So for example, user types in the host name, that is like text. For example, let's say he wants to open a FTP to this particular site. So file transfer client, since text is given, however, to the subsequent layers, to the TCP and IP, he needs to give the IP address. So he uses the DNS client to convert that host name that has been given to get back the IP address. So DNS client, what it does is the input is name and then he gives the IP address. Internally what he is doing is he's sending a query to the DNS server, which is a remote machine. It could be sitting somewhere. It will be generally our laptop will be knowing the DNS server's IP. So the query, DNS query, in terms of DNS, it is going to the DNS server, asking him, saying that can you tell me the IP address of this particular URL. So he sends a query, and the server looks up in his cache, or he further contacts his peers, gets the IP address, prepares a response and gives back to the client. And this is how the DNS client gives it back to the application on our laptop, and application uses the IP address. This is how the flow will happen. And from TCP IP's point of view, in fact, all those responses and the query and the responses happen through the TCP IP stack. For example, our local host, we can see that DNS is sitting here, and DNS uses the IP stack. He uses UDP uses IP, and then further from IP it will go to the DNS server, the IP address of the DNS server. It goes to the IP, and from IP it goes to the UDP, and UDP he will give it to the DNS server that is running on the remote host. That is how it happens, and vice versa. The response tracks back in the same procedure through the stack, through the UDP and to DNS. So these are the important things to remember. So basically one thing to remember is that DNS uses UDP, unlike other HTTP and all the others who use TCP. DNS is basically using the UDP datagram protocol. And then further, moving further, let's get into practicals and let's note down the machine details. We have a table here. So let's minimize this, put it to a side. We are going back to the laptop. We'll use the command prompt. So we want these details, ipconfig / there should not be a space, all, and then we can see. In fact, apart from our machine, let's note down all these details. We can see that the machine is 192. Okay, let me bring 192.168.10.9. This is my machine's number, IP number, and then we have the MAC here, 7A15CC F1A5, and then he has asked us to note down the default gateway's IP address. Default gateway IP address is here 192.168.10.1, and he has also asked to note down the DNS server. And DNS server, in this case, in my case, in fact, the gateway itself is acting as a DNS server. That's why I have this same IP address. Or normally, this IP address, DNS server IP address, could be different if you observe in your lab. If you look at your desktop machine in your lab, this could be different from the gateway. Anyway, so this is itself is doubling up as a DNS server. Let's then move on. Okay, so we want to generate the DNS query message and observe and capture all those details. Okay, let's see practically how to do that. So before that, I'll just show you some commands here. For example, our laptop might have already got some names and converted them and stored it in its memory. So to see the memory, the DNS entries in the memory, the command is ipconfig/display DNS. Hit enter. Yes, we can see that there are some entries already present in our laptop. For example, it has found out that Google's IP address is this. Likewise, Google also has a IPv6 address also. Anyway, there are few things. So let's kind of clear them. Let's clear the cache from our machine. To clear it, it is flush DNS. Yes, it would have cleared now. So if you want, yeah, you can see it is cleared. Now we want to generate a DNS request. So look carefully how to generate a DNS request. So here I'll set, because we also want to capture the packets corresponding to DNS. So let's start off the Wireshark with the DNS as a filter. Let's get back to our command prompt, and let's say I want to find out the address of nptl.ac.in. So what I'm doing now, I'm just doing a ping request. In fact, ping, what it will do, he will just try to send it to nptl, but however, since he doesn't know the IP address, he will ask the DNS client to find out the IP address internally. So we are forcing the DNS now to find out the IP address of nptl.ac.in by doing a ping command like this, because the text URL has been given here. So internally you can see that it has been converted into IP, whereas in the background also we can see that had led to some DNS query and the response back, and Wireshark has captured them. This is what is of interest to us. Now let's stop this. We can see that there were some DNS from my machine, DNS queries from my machine to the .1, that is the DNS server. These were the queries, and then we can also see the responses coming back from the DNS server to my machine, and they have come back as responses. So in this first table, this table is talking about the queries. So let's look at a query packet. This is a query packet. Let's note down the details that he's asking for. He's asking for the destination MAC address, source MAC address, destination IP, and the source IP. Now observe that he's asking us for the UDP ports. Like you can observe now that DNS packet in fact was carried by UDP, and those details are present here. And further after that, he's asking us for the DNS details. Let's note them down one by one. So destination port, where is the destination port? Yes, it is here. It is slightly hidden. So let me move the slides to a different location. Let me, is this better? Yeah, I think this is better. So let's note down the destination MAC address. So the MAC address destination is F4, F2, 6D, sorry, we wanted here, it should be the length, right? First we should note down the length, and we can see from the previous experiment, out of experience now we have, we know that it is 48 bits, this is 48 bits, and IP address will be 32 bits, and this also will be 32 bits. Generally I suggest the students or the learners basically to see the packets and figure out the length over here. We have done different experiments to see that. And UDP port, let's see if UDP port is of different size. Let's open the UDP datagram. Let's click on this, and in the third pane, from the third pane we can figure out that this also is 16 bit, like the TCP port, this is also 16 bit. These two are 16 bits. Okay, now let's come back, let's keep noting down the details. Yeah, let me bring up the slides. 16 bits. Let's note down the MAC address of the destination. It is F4, F2, 6D, 69, D0, and AA. And then source MAC address, it is 0C, 7A, 15, CC, F1, A5. And then the destination IP address, it is the DNS server's IP address 192.168.10.1, and then the source is my laptop 192.168.10.9. and then UDP destination port, you can see it is the standard port 53. Observe this. DNS servers generally will be listening at port number 53, and then destination port was randomly used. It is whichever was free at that time. 59,394 was free, and this was used. Probably if you carry out an experiment, you might get a different value here. You might get a different value, but this 53 will be constant because it is the standard port where the DNS server is listening to. Apart from that, we are asked to note down few details from the DNS packet. So they have asked us, we have been asked to note down the transaction ID. So let's note down the transaction ID, and I'll leave the finding out the length for the viewers. They can easily find out from the header DNS packet, and here you can see transaction ID is 361C. Likewise, they have asked us to note down the flags, and flags also I'll leave for the users to find out the length. It is 0100, and DNS question. You can see in the queries basically there is only one question, and in the queries we can see that we had typed in this NPTL, right, and it had forced our ping command to call the DNS client asking for the IP address of nptel.ac.in. That's the reason this packet was generated. And then moving on further, we are asked to capture the response details. So let's look at one of the responses. Yeah, we have the response here, and just to observe, quickly observe that, see, we have received a response, and then this response should have got our IP address as well. You see, along with the query, there is also a answer that has come back. You can see that the answer has come back, and the answer has come back with all these details, and it has also got the IP address of NPTEL site from the DNS query. You can see the NPTEL site IP address over here. So let's quickly note down these details in the table, and let's keep the answer open. Yeah, this MAC address, destination MAC address, and let me bring the PPT back. Yeah, so destination MAC address, we know it is 48 bits. This is also 48. IP address is 32. Ports are 16, and then the detailed destination MAC address is 0C, 7A, 15CC, F1, EA5. This is the MAC address of my laptop. And then source MAC address is F4, F2 dot 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 AA. This is the MAC address of the gateway. And destination IP address, you can see that it is 168.10.9. It is my laptop's MAC address. Source MAC address, it is basically the DNS service, IP address. And the UDP port, now you can see the roles reversing. Destination is the port address of my machine, or the DNS client is running on this UDP port. And then the source is the 53. The server is responding back. And now if you observe the transaction ID, you can see the transaction ID is what was sent in the query. And likewise, the other things we can note down. Query also you can note down. Query was basically nptel.ac.in. And then the IP address it has found out for us. Let's note down the IP address. Yes, we can see the IP address as 10. This is important. In fact, all these things happen to find out the IP address of NPTEL server. 161. Right. Let's quickly check this. Yeah, I have noted down the IP address here. And the details of the length and all these things I'll leave for the users to fill up these details. So let's quickly type this IP address in the browser. Let's type it into a browser and see. Yeah, I have opened the browser and we can see the IP address here in the background. Let's type the IP address 103 dot in fact, to be on safe side, let's type 103.158.43.161, and this should get us the, if everything goes okay, now you can see it has gone to the NPTEL site and it has got the NPTEL site for us. So the IP is the correct IP that we have got from the DNS client. Okay, coming back to our discussion, let me now zoom this and then just summarize. So what did you do? We basically generated a DNS network traffic. How did you do? By browsing a new site, or basically we did a ping to a new site which we hadn't done before, and the DNS entries were not there in our machine. It didn't know the IP address of this new site, that is nptel.ac.in. That led, and we also started the Wireshark capture for DNS. We set appropriate display filters. We set it as DNS, and then that made our request made the DNS queries being sent and the response coming back, and the response came back from the DNS server with the NPTEL's IP address. So later what we did, we analyzed the DNS headers in the query and the reply packets. So we'll stop here. Thank you for watching. So with this, we will at the moment end the experiments related to Wireshark experiment. In the next sessions onwards, we will start with network simulators. Thank you. Thanks for watching.